Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby Kumar. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On this channel, I focus on mom life and entrepreneurship, two of the things I'm most passionate about, so you'll get a mix of both. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about goal setting and actually achieving the goals that we set for ourselves. Now, we all set goals, right? I mean, some are small, some are large, some are short term, some are long term. One way or another, we've set goals for ourselves. But are we actually achieving these goals that we set? Now I know I'm not the only one. Things don't always go as we plan. You know, there are things that come and just like throw everything off. Like right now, you know, we're in a pandemic and that kind of threw me off from a lot of my goals. So I had to figure out a method that I can actually stay on track and continue on the road to these goals that I want to achieve for myself. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Setting goals, you know, smart goal setting for mompreneurs, female entrepreneurs, and just entrepreneurs, anyone that actually wants to achieve the goals that they have set for themselves. Let's just go ahead and jump right in it. So what I'm going to be going over is the SMART method, and you may have heard of this method before, and you can use it with a lot of different things, but we're going to be talking about it specifically on goals, and that's going to be SMART is an acronym. So S is for specific, then measurable, attainable, or achievable. You know, you can use either or. Relevant and timely. So I'm gonna break each of those down so we can, you know, go step by step, and I'll explain the process to you of setting SMART goals. So for specific, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. You want to set specific goals. You don't want them to be too broad. So like an example of that would be like, say, I want to, by the end of 2020, I want to have my own business. Okay, now that is a good goal to have, but it is too broad. It's not specific enough. So how you can change that to be specific and go along with the SMART method is to say something like, by the end of 2020, I want to have a business in, I don't know, digital marketing. I have a digital marketing company, so that's why that came to mind. So how you can make it specific is you can say, by the end of 2020, I want to have my own business in digital marketing or social media marketing. Something like that. Or I want to have my own clothing line. That is more specific. You know exactly what you're going after. If you just leave it as, I just want to have my own business, and you don't know which direction you're headed, there's so many businesses you can have, it's gonna, you know, make it hard for you to actually achieve the goal in having your business. So make it specific. So the next step is to make it measurable. And with measurable, it's really, you just want to be able to track the progress of your goal to make sure that you're still on track, on the road to achieving this goal. So an example off the top of my head would be, say you want to increase your income. So you can actually say, okay, I want to make $100,000 this year. You know, it's specific, it's measurable, so then you can actually break it down and say, to make $100,000 this year, this is what I have to do, and you can measure it along the way. So if you are, you know, by month 1 or month 2 or something, you want to make $8,000. So you can know, okay, did I hit that goal? Did I make the $8,000 for that month? And then you can better track the next month and the next month until you get to the end term of your goal, you know. So you want to make it measurable so you know that you're actually on track. So moving on to attainable or achievable. You want to make goals. I mean, it's good to dream big and to have big, grand goals, but you also want to make them achievable. And I actually talked about this in my vision board video, which I'll link so you can check that out. But you want to have achievable goals. And say, you know, like an example, you don't want to say, I want to make $1 million next month, which is awesome. I would love to make $1 million next month also. But how possible is that really if you are making $0 this month? So you want to start somewhere small. Just think, all big things started somewhere small. Think of like a huge redwood tree or something. That started as a seed, and it takes time to get to the point as high as the tree is now. So yeah, you want to just make it achievable. It's good to have big goals. I definitely don't think you should, you know, underestimate yourself. Have the big goals, but make sure that it is in line. So one example that I actually use for myself is, yeah, I would love to have my own house one day. I want to buy a house. But that is not something that I can't say I want my own house in 6 months, because I'm just not at that point. I still have some time to save. I need some time to get everything together. It is having a house, owning a house is a huge purchase, and that is something that is not achievable for me within the next 6 months. I would love for it to be, but I would, you know, give myself years in doing that. So that's an example for you. And then the next thing is to make it relevant. And with relevant, you want to have mainly your goal that you're setting make sense for your larger goal. So if you have like a main life goal, if your life goal is to work for yourself, then yes, having a goal of having your, e-commerce business is relevant to working for yourself, to being self-employed. So that's like an example of how you can use that. You just want to make sure that your goals are relevant to the grand scheme of things, what you're trying to achieve in life. And then so now the last thing is to make it timely, and this is very important. You need to have an end date for your goal when you want to achieve it. Otherwise, you can just continue going. If you say, I want to have my own business, and there's no actual end date that you want to have it by, and you don't have a date that you're working towards, then you might just take the next 10 years to do it, I mean, that's a little extreme, but if it's something you want to achieve by the end of the year, then say, give the date, like December 31st of 2020, you want to have your business up and running. So I think it's very important to have timely goals, and that way you can better measure it as well. I don't want to have this video too long, and this is kind of just more how to plan and how to set goals and how to make them achievable. But I would love to go over, how I set up my days, how I plan, how I set up goals. And actually, I did a video before where I went over how I plan things and how I, manage my business and my personal life. So I will go ahead and link that video also so you can check that out. But just as a recap, set goals, don't underestimate yourself. Make the goals big, but make them achievable, and give yourself a time to achieve it. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to set it for next week or next month. You can say, I want to have, a house in 3 years. You can set your goals as that, but you just want to make sure it's timely and achievable within that time frame. So if you are new in entrepreneurship and you are not sure, where to start, but you do know that you want to have a business, I created a document that just has like 25 different work from home jobs that you can do, and for female entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, or just people that just want ideas of how they can get into business and work for themselves. I think now is like a really good time to look into that. So I'll link that document below. It's a free download. And then I also created a goal setting journal, and it just kind of breaks down how I set up goals for myself, and it's a PDF. So you can actually use it as a printout, and you can, write out your goals and your times that you want to achieve it, and it'll break down the SMART goal setting process also. So, and that is $7 for purchase. So I will link that also below if you want to check it out, and a few other things that I've been working on. So yeah, if you have any questions, please go ahead and comment below, reach out to me, email, however, I'm happy to answer them. And thank you so much for watching. I hope I catch you next time. Also, I forgot to mention that the shirt I'm wearing is available for purchase on my new site, my e-commerce site. It's called Fun Mom Shirts. I'll link it below so you can check it out. There's shirts for moms, aunts, uncles, grandmas, glammas too, grandpas. Check it out. I'll link it below.